Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. 3 topics for today. Romania is back. Călin Georgescu has something to say that we all know that, but somehow we are supposed to ignore it. Călin Georgescu is the person, the candidate who would have won the elections in Romania, the presidential elections, if Romania would have been a democracy or used democracy. But hey, when the lovers of democracies see that their candidate is losing, then they cancel it. That's exactly what happened in Romania. Călin Georgescu was the projected winner of the runoff election with about 60%. Therefore, a court annulled the elections. Therefore, Călin Georgescu right now, they're doing a big job of trying to discredit him. And I don't know what's going on in Romania. The president who has no mandate is still the president. These guys are waiting for new elections. This guy, Georgescu, is being investigated. We're going to find out. But he says something that we all know. NATO, United States of America, is preparing an assault on Russia through Mihail Kogălnicianu Air Base. All right, this is clear for some of us. For some of them, they want it to make it unclear for the rest of them. The first one. The second one, Alternative for Deutschland, has a little meeting in the Saxony, I think. And during this meeting, a congress kind of, they refuse or decline to condemn the evil guy called Putin. Oh, that's in par with Mr. Elon Musk, who supports the Alternative for Deutschland. He had an interview with one of their leaders that and again, now Elon Musk is a far right because he promotes Alternative for Deutschland. So it seems like people are starting to not only wake up, but act upon the awakening. Oh, we can say My Awakening. Who wrote the book, My Awakening? Oh, yeah, it was that guy, David Okay, all right, My Awakening. Go and read it, by the way. So, and the German liberals do what they do best. They go and try to physically destroy this Alternative for Deutschland meeting in the Saxony. Why? Because that's what they do. They're mainly peaceful protest. We find out, the third topic, that Switzerland, who in its delusional self-identification thinks that they are still neutral, and the Americans and the Russians, especially the Russians, will agree to meet in Switzerland because they are ready to organize Trump-Putin meeting. So they're delusional. They are not neutral. They haven't been for some time. And with the war in Ukraine, they showed us who their masters are. The same ones as they are right here. But they're ready to organize Trump-Putin meeting, and they're waiting for both sides to give them an answer. I can give them a sign coming from Russia and is read between the lines. Let me show you the first article and the first topic. Russia Today, 12th of January 2025. NATO using Romania as, quote-unquote, door for war. I'm going to show you maps. The expansion of the Mihail Kogălnicianu Air Base is aimed at starting a conflict, Călin Georgescu has claimed. So, Mihail Kogălnicianu Air Base, NATO Air Base, I will show you where it's located, is the biggest NATO air base in Europe after it's expanded. Why? Well, just to keep peace over there in the Eastern Front. Călin Georgescu says, no, actually, it's just a trampoline into starting a war. NATO is using Romania as a, and I'm quoting, door for war. I think so. So must be the same guy as me with Putin, together dancing a hora, okay? Aiming to launch a major offensive into Russia, independent presidential candidate Călin Georgescu has warned. During an episode of the Sean Ryan Show, published on Saturday, Georgescu and former U.S. Navy SEAL Sean Ryan discussed the coup d'etat in Romania and the potential implications of the military build-up at the Mihail Kogălnicianu MK Air Base, the largest NATO facility near the Black Sea. The presidential candidate has raised concerns over the bloc's military presence in Romania, warning that the country's NATO bases could be used to trigger a war with Russia or to defend Romania, correct? Correct. I don't think that's the case. Romania, as I said, is under military, is an occupation. Military occupation, political occupation, economic occupation, financial occupation, and cultural occupation. I should have started with that one. And I'm quoting Călin Georgescu. What is happening now in Romania, and the fact that there is no reaction from abroad, especially from the United States, shows that they do not understand what's going on here. Because if they use Romania as a door for war, what would be next? Georgescu told the host in response to a question about whether Romania is, and I'm quoting, in the midst of a coup right now. We do not need a war. It's not about we. Mr. Georgescu, is about them. So we don't need, they need. Romania is a NATO PPP. According to Klimov, the larger the anti-Russian military base and the closer it is to the Russian borders, the more likely it is to be among the first targets for retaliatory strikes. Asked whether the base would be used to conduct, and I'm quoting, a major offensive into Russia, Georgescu responded, exactly. This is the word, offensive, which is wrong, and we cannot accept this. Who's we? The people, right? Some. He stated, because, and I'm quoting, this is not our business, it's not our war. They made it to be, because if the Russians win Ukraine, Mr. Georgescu, they will come to you. Next is going to be Romania, Poland, the Baltic states, our freedoms, our democracy, our values, our families, our way of life. Don't you know this? This is the narrative that these guys were been pushing. I didn't fall for it. Please don't do. Well, Georgescu is known for his strong Eurosceptic and anti-NATO views. Emerged as a frontrunner in Romania's presidential race in November, securing 22.94% of the vote, 23%, more than the British Prime Minister Starmer. Starmer's party, not he himself, got 18% and he's the Prime Minister. And this guy got 22.94%, and he was projected to win with 60%. His rise fueled speculation that he would push for Romania's withdrawal from NATO, or at least attempt to reduce military cooperation with it. Romania's Constitutional Court annulled the elections ahead of the second round vote, citing intelligence documents alleging irregularities in Georgescu's performance. This decision sparked rounds of protests in Bucharest. On Friday, thousands of demonstrators gathered outside Romania's top court, demanding transparency and accusing the authorities of orchestrating an electoral coup. And I'm quoting, nine people inside, they decide instead of 19 million what they have to do, the presidential candidate told the host while discussing the cancellation of the second round of elections. And I'm quoting, we ask for help for the democratic institutions. And we want to protect our life, our family, our nation. Good job, Mr. Georgescu. Good job. The problem is these guys here lost the legacy media, the corporate media, the outside media in Romania is working hard to portray him as a Russian, Georgescu, as a Russian something, anything. And that's on the foundation of the Romanians who were propagandized, not only regimented, not only during the Ceausescu's time, after that the Russians are the Soviets. So the Russians did to us since 1918 what they did to us until 1981, 89, 1990, let's put it this way. It's the Russians, not the Soviets with Kaganovich, non-Russian, Stalin, non-Russian, Zhugashvili, by the way, Lenin, non-Russian, Mr. Ulyanov, Trotsky, non-Russian, what's his name? Bronstein. All these guys, and not only, you can go to Yogoda, you can go to many others, you're going to find out these were non-Russians in charge of Soviet Union, not only Russia. But hey, they conflated the Russians with the Soviet Union, so then they tried to make us, that's why I refuse, because I know better, that the Russians are the same as the Ottomans were, as the Hungarians, as the Germans, as the Americans, look for their own interest. Russia is here, Romania is here. What did you expect? Russia is like this, Romania is like this. What did you expect? Just study history and you understand the big one is going to impose to the small one. The strong will be in charge. If not always, most of the time. So, let me show you where this Romania is located. Let's start with map of Europe, right? Here, here's a map of Europe. Romania is located here by the Black Sea. This is Russia, right? This is Ukraine. This is Romania right here. Cogalnicianu, I will show you where it's at. I'm going to show you another map. Is right here, located right here. So from here to Crimean Peninsula is just a little distance right here. Boom. This is one map. Second one, let me show you NATO. This is NATO. So again, NATO is in blue. The red is Russia, plus is made here to appear to be, Belarus and Kaliningrad. So look at NATO. Romania is right here. Close. Let's get in. All these guys, they show here Sweden and they show Finland, obviously, already here. They want everything. Who do you think is they were right here before, right here. They were here before. And now look where they're at. So who came towards Russia? Russia, the imperialistic, tendencies. Not NATO. This is Ukraine. Cogalnicianu is right here by Constanța in this area. You see where you don't see this? This is an airfield right here. Right there. This is Constanța, this is the Black Sea. This is where the base is located, where the Russians will hit first, or one of the first. So from there, this is where the Ukraine war is. From here, obviously, it's close and it's very helpful to NATO. Got it? Călin Georgescu has a few options. The first one, stay alive. Second one, and stay alive and fight as he is. Second one, just sign the contract the way I think Trump did. Trump that we have right now, I don't think is the same Trump from 2016. Not at all. Not at all. I don't think so. His rhetoric is diluted. Not diluted, is washed up. I would say 90-some%. The media doesn't attack him. The so-called personalities, the NBA guys, the athletes don't attack him. It's not promoted that hatred towards this guy. And by the way, didn't I call Trump all the time a fascist? Did you see that the US Congress 100% voted him in the office? Nobody said anything. And 2 weeks ago, they said, 2 weeks before the election, they said he's a fascist, he's Adolf. And now that he got selected, nobody said anything in the House. Nobody said, oh no, I raise concerns here. They all validated it. All 100. It was one to rise against Trump. Before the elections, they said is Ratkin and other garbages. They said, well, he's a Nazi. And none of them raised the question when they could stop it. They could have stopped it. The US Congress could have stopped Trump's inauguration, or at least validation. None of them did it. What does that tell you? None. Zero. That tells me Trump signed a paper. That's my assessment. And so that Călin Georgescu is the first one to continue that, stay alive and continue the fight. And I support Călin Georgescu. Second one is just do what I think Trump did. And the other one is just to go away. All right, next one. Go away meaning like dropping your weapons, get your money and leave. Or get a position somewhere offered by this guy. World Bank, somewhere on this kind of sidelines like this. Sputnik. Alternative für Deutschland declines to condemn Russia in party election program, reports 11 hours ago, today on January 12th. The right-wing Alternative for Germany, not far right, okay? AfD party choose not to include a condemnation of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine in its election program, German broadcasters and TV reported. On Saturday, the AfD party congress took place in the German city of Reisa, where the party's co-chair Alice Vidal, she's the one who Meow Meow is here, the cat is here. This is the person who was interviewed by Elon Musk. Come over here, Meow Meow. I know you want to show your face. Oh, you're going to go through there? Okay, I'm going to hold everything. Almost gone. Was approved as a candidate for chancellor. So she was approved. Good job. She's very smart. Delegates, and very courageous. Delegates to the Congress voted against condemning Russia for its operations in Ukraine by a majority of 69 out of around 600 party delegates, the broadcaster said. The party's draft program describes the Ukrainian conflict as a disruption to peace in Europe and envisions Ukraine as a neutral state outside of the EU and NATO. Good. All right, so they declined, they refused, right? to condemn. Next one. This is what your liberals are doing when they don't like children. They throw a tantrum. Russia Today. German liberals riot in Saxony. Videos. I'm not going to play the videos, but obviously I would like to look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at his face. Now, I don't want to say. I'm not going to say it. It's like Greta Thunberg. She was arrested like twice or something. If she would have been arrested in Mexico by the Mexican police or arrested by the Turkish police, I guarantee you she would have been arrested only once. She wouldn't have showed up at the second one. Why? Well, you know, they give you a certain kind of special treatment in those jails. I'm not promoting that. I'm not supporting that. I'm just saying that's why this guy is so happy about it and doesn't give a fuck, because he knows he's in a still supposedly civilized country. Thousands of left-wing protesters from across Germany have swarmed to the Saxon town of Riesa in an attempt to derail the right-wing Alternative for Deutschland party's convention. Why do you want to derail? That's part of democracy and freedom of speech, man. Let them be. You don't like them, don't listen to them. Bring a better alternative. That's how it works. They didn't get it. They don't get it. They're tyrants. They want, no, I don't like what you say, I want you closed. But if someone does that to them, they immediately play victim. They want a safe space and they're pussified. But look at them. Is this the way it works? I met a German person in Europe when I went, and that person was she would have just gassed me. I think if she would have had the power, she would have gassed me right there, and in the name of the good. And she would have felt virtuous for saving the planet for an evil guy like me. I guarantee you, these people are among us. I'm not saying we don't have certain kind of feelings sometime, but we are capable of saying, I disagree with what you say, remember, but I would die for the right for you to say it. I bring my own product. I don't destroy yours. These guys are destroyers, not creators. If your car is better than I'm just going to destroy your car. I'm going to impose sanctions. I'm going to what? Ban you? Yes, that's exactly what these guys are doing, the capitalists of the world. They can't compete with the Russian gas, with the product, they ban it. They put tariffs. And then when they win, you can't do this, you can't do this, only I can do that. So the same here, bring your better program. It's democracy, freedom. No, they want that. That's tyrannical. And they say the liberal. There's no something like liberal. Liberals mean liberté, freedom. There's nothing like this. These are just phony. Right there. And it says, party's convention resulting in multiple scuffles with police. Obviously, the Alternative for Deutschland is fault. AfD membership has swelled by 50% over during 2024 alone, the party spokesperson told Reuters in December. Here are some people, right? Again, I'm not going to play it. Protesters set up road blockades on key transportation arteries around Riesa, with a demonstration also held outside the venue booked for the Alternative for Deutschland convention. These are tyrants. These guys are tyrants. Tyrants. That's what they are, my friends. So, next one. Switzerland, ready to organize Trump-Putin meeting. Nobody will do that for you. Switzerland willing to organize Trump-Putin meeting, awaiting agreement from both parties. Switzerland hasn't been neutral. Norway or Finland are out. I can tell you who can be neutral. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe can be neutral. I think let's organize over there. Mugabe is gone. Freedom and democracy. No? You can find other countries as well, but now Switzerland. No. These guys try to hijack. So Russia right now has the knife and the bread. Ukraine and the military. So they can cut and give to the whomever whatever they want. The other guys are waiting. But now they try to create this illusion that actually they also have a knife and they hold the bread together with Russia. Like United States thinks, yeah, we're going to negotiate. Yeah, I'm going to stop the war. Hold your horses. Go back to 2021 and maybe 1991, I would say, or 1994, the Budapest Memorandum, and then we're talking. Get your NATO somewhere else, and then we talk about it. Oy vey. No, Russia right now has the bread and the knife. It's going to cut whomever it wants. So these guys, no, we're going to organize a meeting when Trump and Putin will meet. I guarantee you they will not negotiate like, you know what, let's go back to 2021. No, the Russians don't go back. The Russians want as they say it, the realities, the current realities in the field. That is, we did it, we conquered it, we are beating your NATO countries, and you can't win. So why should I negotiate? Because I'm stupid? Well, we'll see. Probably they will meet just to blah, 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 blah. It's good to talk, it's good to meet, but the Russians will not drop their 4 non-negotiable. Remember, I know they entered Ukraine unjustified and nothing like that, but they have 4 justifications at least somehow. But we're told that no justification, right? Unprovoked. The Russia just invaded because they have imperialistic mentality, but NATO expanded 5 times towards Russia. But no, NATO doesn't have imperialistic, neocolonialism. No. How do they do it now? They make sure they got the right people over there, and if the right people do the wrong thing, coup d'etat, poof, activate, and we take over. Lebenstraum. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Switzerland can fuck off regarding this. I want them to meet, but not in Switzerland. Switzerland should not be recognized as a common ground or a neutral. No, because it's not. Zimbabwe. That's my country, Zimbabwe. If you didn't help either side, that's what you are. And Zimbabwe did not. Zimbabwe are good. Or maybe they should do it in Antarctica. Or maybe the North Pole. It would be better. And we don't need mediators. To do what? Beat up the liberals who are trying to disrupt it? No, thank you. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.